Hello and welcome to another Some Gear No Idea, and this time we're going to try and repair an Xbox One controller. This is my controller, and the analog joystick has snapped off. I was obviously too vigorous with it, so I've got a replacement, which was just a cheap one from eBay. So I'm going to attempt to remove this without ruining the controller. If we just try and match up the pins, so we've got these 4, these 3, just here. See if I can move that up a bit. It'll focus. No, they're going to focus. And those two there. I'm not sure why it's not focusing. Stupid camera. Anyway, so I'm going to attempt to do that. The weapon of choice for today is going to be this, which is a desoldering pump. Again, nothing special, cheap, and hopefully it will do the job. So I'm going to plug this in, get it warmed up, and then we'll come back and I'm going to try and put a bit of flux on here and try and desolder some of these without ruining it. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so this is warmed up. I've got a fan going just off with a filter on it, and I'm going to attempt now, move the light on us so it's a bit better. I'm going to attempt now to try and get one of these off without ruining it. So I'm going to put it on, give it a little wiggle like that. I don't know if I'll be able to show that to the camera or not. Is it going to focus? Don't want to leave this iron on for too long, but see if it'll focus. And there you can see. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Move it down a bit. Yeah, focusing is not my game, but you can just about see, and I'll manually focus when I've done the rest. I just don't want to leave this iron on too long, so give this another go. Give it a wiggle. This one, give it a wiggle. That looks good. So what I'm going to do is just clean the iron. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do now is prep the rest with some flux and move on. So I'll be back in a second when I've prepped. Okay, so I've prepped to put some solder on. What I'm going to do is I'm just on camera, I'm just going to do a couple of these and then I'll do it all off camera. Give it a wiggle. Give it a wiggle. Give it a wiggle. Right, okay, what I'm going to do is I'll do the rest off camera, because then it gives me time just to clean the iron and make sure it's okay. So what I've done is I've gone over that now and removed it. Sorry, it's a bit difficult to see. It's something that I need to work on. But what should happen now, hopefully, is this thing should pop out like that. And as you can see, it's snapped. I have no what's going on. Right, I've no idea what's going on with this focus. Let me try a manual one. Sorry about this. Try that. There you go. Yeah, so you can see that these is clearly snapped. So hopefully that will go on there. So what I need to do now is pop this back in. Now unfortunately it wasn't the shipping wasn't great with this, to be honest. It just arrived in an envelope rather than something padded, so a few of the pins were bent, but I bent them back. It's in now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a clean up with some isopropyl alcohol before I resolder it, and what I'll do is I'll do a couple of solder joints on camera and then I'll do the rest off. So I'm going to clean that up now just before I put that in. So let's get some isopropyl alcohol and give it a clean. Sorry, let's do that. That's better, isn't it? I don't think I'll win Cameraman of the Year award, that's for sure. Alright, so let's just give this a bit of a wipe, a bit of a clean. And as you know, with isopropyl alcohol, it just gives it a clean, but it also evaporates, so should leave that off. Right, I'm just going to inspect that closer, just under my eyes so I can see. Looks okay. What I'll do is, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll pop it under my microscope, and then I can put that on screen. Yeah, I'll do that. So I took some footage under the microscope, which I'll put on screen. Whilst that's on, I'm going to just put a tiny bit of solder. Now I don't know how I'm going to do this because I need to push on this, but I think it's in anyway, to be honest. I've put a smaller tip on the soldering iron. Just trying to think what the best way is. Let's just see if I can put a bit of... it's not the way to do things, but to be honest, nothing the way I do is the way to do things, so... yeah, that's not going to do it. Let's... what I'll do is see if I can move that so it's under the microscope so you can see it. Try and put some on here. Right, and what I'll do is from underneath now I'll push. That didn't take. Right, so that's in on that side, but I'm going to try. I've used a smaller solder, and maybe I'll try the bigger stuff. Let's try the bigger stuff, and maybe I need to go back to using my larger tip. Move that back under the microscope. Like I said, this channel is not on how you're supposed to do things. Just trust me. It's definitely not how you're supposed to do things. Right, this tip's garbage. I'm going to go back to my other tip. I shall be right back when I've changed tips. Okay, so I've swapped soldering iron tips, and I've changed to the larger solder. So let's what I'll do is I'll put a microscope version. If I just try and focus that in, I'll put a microscope shot on the screen so you can see. I don't think that looks too bad. That's not great. That's a huge blob. I don't want that. Let's just see if I can get rid of that blob, because I don't want it. Let's have a look at that under the scope. Right, let's just reflow that. That's better. Yay for Gootwick. Desolder bread. Not a sponsor, but I have had solder bread in the past and it's not been great. This stuff though, it's really quite good. So let's try and do another one. And one more. Okay, let's spin that around. Let's try for this one. Let's just see if it is flat. I mean, what I can do is, it is flat actually. But, that's good. Although, to be honest, that doesn't... flat. Let me just look with my eyes, see if it is flat. No, I think that could probably go down a bit. So what I'll do is I'll just heat these up. Give it a push. Right, so let's go back to doing this one. Loop. Perfect. No. Functional? Let's hope so. Right. This one's going to be a bit more difficult, so let's put that under there. And let's try for these. And this one. So I think, no, there's just this one. I think that's all of them, I think. So let me just check it with my naked eye. So just pop that on. Put it out of the way. Okie dokie. Let's put the. I put some tape over the motors, the rumble motors, because I get falling out and it's really annoying. So, well, that's in. So what I'll do now is give it a clean up with some isopropyl alcohol. Get all the flux residue off, because I think, if I remember correctly, it's flux is corrosive to the board, I think. But anyway, let's give this a give that it's just a clean up. Try and remove some of that off the board. Put that under the microscope. I'll try and overlay that for you. Well, assuming that works, I'm reasonably chuffed with that. It doesn't give as good a click as the OEM, but if that works, then I shall be happy. So that's all from this episode. I'll put in the comments whether it works or not, because I need to put it all back together and put it back on. I actually use it on the PC rather than an Xbox. So yeah, PC for the win. Okay, hopefully I'll speak to you again soon with another project. Take care.